Welcome back to Star Trek, the deck building game. This is the original series version, and I'm playing a solitaire variant. And I'll explain the differences between the solitaire and head-to-head play between 2 to 4 players as we go. And so let's begin. The first thing we do on a turn, of course, is we draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 cards. And we'll have a look and see what they are. And I said I would explain these as we go. So the first we have is a lieutenant. It is going to be, when we play it to our bridge, worth 2 experience, and we use experience points to buy cards. And the special text says, when you complete a mission, you may upgrade this card to a commander. Only one effect of this type can be activated per mission. Okay? And yes, we have our red shirts, and they are worth 1 experience point for spending purposes. And for completing missions as well, this experience also works. It says, when you complete a mission, you may trash this card. Only one effect of this type can be activated per mission. So yes, your red coats can disappear as per the series. And I forgot to mention +1 speed for the lieutenant, +1 attack for the ensign. We have another ensign. And this time we have evasive maneuvers. And it gives us a +1 speed and gives us +2 shields. If you have a character in your bridge with a cost of 6+, and of course the cost's in the upper right, you may trash this card, and if you do, your flagship gets +3 speed. So that's handy if we need extra speed and we have a character that's worth 6+, and we have our Tricorder. And it's a handheld device, so we're going to need 1 character, and we have 3 of them, so that's not a problem to hold it. It says you get +1 search. In the game, you get 1 search automatically. So this, if we use a Tricorder, we're going to get 2 searches. And it says it gives us an X value for diplomacy. So how this operates is X is the user's cost divided by 2 rounded up. So if we took our lieutenant here, whose cost is 3, and made him use the Tricorder, it'd be 3 divided by 2 would be 1.5, rounding up 2. So that would give us 2 diplomacy. It also says if it is 4+, so if we have an 8 cost character, then you would trash the Tricorder at the end of the action phase. So those are the 5 cards that we have to deal with right now. So let's put those down here. And first up, with my solitaire variant, is the Explorer, and we must explore every turn. There's no option. When you're playing the 2 to 4 player game, of course, you have the option. You do not need to explore. But in my solitaire variant, the very first thing we need to do is flip over one of these cards. And it is, if we look here, it's a mission as the Enterprise incident, and it has flip effects. And this flip effect says you get +1 explore. So I have to use my 1 Explorer to flip the automatic space deck card at the beginning of my turn. But now I get an extra one, which could allow me to complete a mission. But it's not going to allow me to draw another space deck card because that's part of the solitaire variant. In a 2 to 4 player game, you could indeed draw another card if you wanted to, or try to complete a mission with a +1 Explorer. The goal here is we need 4 speed and 4 diplomacy, or we need a total of 8 speed. And the reward for completing this mission is you may gain 1 card from Starbase. And that's pretty powerful because some of the cards in Starbase are really good. And it's worth 50 points. So I'm going to put it over here in the rightmost spot of our mission area. And now I get to do my turn. And I can play cards. So I need 4 speed and 4 diplomacy, and I don't think I can get anywhere near that. I have 1 speed on evasive maneuvers and 1 speed for the lieutenant. That's only 2 speed. So there's just no way I can end up completing that mission anyway. But so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just going to go to the Starbase and I'm going to buy something. So I might as well use the Tricorder. I will attach it to the lieutenant. It's going to give me +1 search. And I'll show you how search works in a second. So we'll call this the bridge down here. Playing that, and I'm going to play the 2 ensigns as well. So if we take a look at that, we have a total of 2, 3. We have a total of 4 experience, and I have 2 searches. And I'm not going to play this. This is still in my hand. So the only things I can do here in Starbase with two searches is a search means you take one of the cards, put it to the Starbase discard pile, and draw another one. So I'm going to take this card, and I'm just going to, so one search, and I end up finding a medical tricorder. And I'll show you the detail when I buy them. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the detail of every card because there's lots of details on them. It's just when I purchase it, put it in my hand, I will show you exactly what it is. So that's one search. And I think I'm going to take Trelane because he has an opponent ability, and there is no opponent in Solitaire. And we get Marla MacGyvers. Okay, well, I have 4 experience to spend. Now, I could buy another lieutenant if I wanted, because of the lieutenants cost 3. Or I can buy, there's 2 cards here worth 4. So let's take a look at them. The first one is the medical tricorder. And it's a handheld device, so you need a character to hold it. And it says you may upgrade a character from your discard area with a cost less than or equal to the user's. So whoever's using this would be the user's cost. And you can upgrade to a character costing up to 2 more from Starbase. So that's what the medical tricorder does. It has +1 speed, +1 diplomacy. The other 4-cost card at the Starbase is John Farrell. And he says characters in your bridge with a cost of 6+ get +1 speed and +1 diplomacy. So if you play him after you have characters in your bridge with 6+ cost, you'll get those added benefits for them. And he has 2 speed. Wow, I think I am probably going to pick up the medical tricorder so that we can start upgrading characters as quickly as possible in our discard and or hand decks. So this, I guess I'm going to have to move these over. I'm going to put my discard pile directly to the left of my draw deck. Of course, I have my starship here, and then the mission pile is going to go off screen here. All right, that is basically turn 1. So what you do at the end of the turn is you collect all your cards, either in your hand or on your bridge, and you discard them. And that's it. Oh, and I forgot, you must replace the Starbase card as well. And we ended up getting a Hand Phaser Type 2. It's also worth 4 to purchase. It's another handheld item. Whew. All right, well, that was turn 1. We have 1 mission out on the board that we couldn't complete. But we're allowed to have a total of 2 missions sitting out on the board before they start bumping into the negative pile for us. And so I think we're just going to go right ahead and do another turn. So let me just, I think I'm going to zoom down a little bit here, a little bit closer, and we'll continue. We'll do one more turn. Turn 2. Okay, so the very first thing, of course, on your turn is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 10 cards in our starting deck, so we're going to pick up 5 of them, and this time we get ship modifications, and it says discard any number of cards from your hand and then draw the same number of cards. If you have character with a cost of 6+ in your bridge, you also draw a card. +1 speed, +1 attack. Memory Alpha, this is our upgrade card, starter card. It says upgrade 1 character from your hand or bridge to a character from Starbase costing up to 2 more. If the card you upgrade is a basic character, you move it to the top of your deck. And basic characters are the ensigns, lieutenants, and commanders. So we have an ensign, we have a lieutenant, and we have a hand phaser. It's a handheld. And it says, during your turn, if the user has a cost of 5+, you may trash this card, and if you do, you get 3 experience. This experience can only be spent on maneuvers, and it would be 3 attack value. So those are the 5 cards in our hand. So let's go over to the exploration deck, the space deck, and see what's going to happen. All right, so over here on the space deck, of course, we'll slide that over 1. We must, at the beginning of my solitaire rules, draw a card. Like I said before, if you're playing a 2 to 4 player game, this is an optional thing to do. Draw a space card. In my solitaire variant, you must draw one. And it is another mission. It's Plato's Stepchildren. And it has a flip effect. It says your flagship receives 2 damage. So we flip the card over, of course, and our flagship here, I guess we'll put it here, is going to go from 8 shields, and it's going to knock itself down to 6. So we took some damage here right off the bat for this mission, and it's a 50-point mission. It says at the start of your turn, well, which is going to be right now, your flagship receives damage equal to the highest attack among characters in Starbase. So that's going to be a continuous start of turn effect. Yeah, that's not very pleasant. So let's go to the Starbase. And, oh man, I'm just looking at cards, and this is the highest attack card in Starbase, and as you can see, he has an attack of +4. So it is technically the beginning of our turn. Our 6 goes down to 2, so we are just getting hammered. And now we have to look at our cards and see if we can either come up with 4 speed and 4 diplomacy to do the Enterprise incident, or a total of 8 speed, or whether we can come up with 3 speed and 7 attack for Plato's Stepchildren. And I am kind of thinking that's not going to happen this early in the game because our cards are not that useful. We can only muster a couple of speed. Yeah, there's no way. Well, 3 speed, but we could never get 7, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's just, I don't think it's possible. So I think we're just going to suck it up, and we are just going to go ahead and play our lieutenant and our ensign to the bridge. That's going to give us 3 XP. Let me just move the camera here, and we will do these things in order. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play our lieutenant to the bridge. I'm going to play our ensign to the bridge. So it's going to give us a total of 3 experience points to spend. There's not much point attaching the hand phaser to anybody because, well, we're not going to be doing any attacking. So I'm just going to put this sideways. That's going to remain in our hand. But I am going to play the effect of this card. It says discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw the same number of cards. So we're going to play that. I'm going to discard the hand phaser. Unfortunately, we might get it again because now we have to shuffle. And we're just going to draw 1 card. So just shuffle quickly here. And we're going to draw 1 card. Now we have a new draw deck. And let's hope... No. Well, this is not... No, it's not good because the effect here, of course, says... You can upgrade a character in your discard area. Well, now we have no discard area. So this effectively does nothing for us. However, we do have 1 card that's going to help us, and that's Memory Alpha. And Memory Alpha says upgrade 1 character from your hand or bridge to a character from Starbase, costing up to 2 more. If the card in the upgrade is a basic character, you may move it to the top of your deck. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to play Memory Alpha. I'm going to upgrade... our ensign. Let's just get rid of him. We're going to discard him, upgrade him, and we're going to upgrade him to a lieutenant, and the lieutenant goes on top of our draw deck. All right, end of the turn, we have to take everything in our bridge, everything in our hand, and it ends up going into our discard pile. Oh, and yes, totally forgetting, we had a total of 3 experience, and experience points accumulate. So what I mean by that is we had an ensign out and we had a lieutenant out. That was 3 experience. The ensign went away and turned into a lieutenant, but we do not lose that experience for purposes of buying things at Starbase. And so what I'm going to do, just slightly off camera here, is we're at only 2 hit points on our starship, and we need to heal it a bit. So I have a total of 3 experience. You can use experience points to heal 1 experience point per 1 hit point of your ship. So we're going from 3 up to 5. Otherwise, I'm going to get destroyed at the start of next turn because of the Plato's Stepchildren start of turn effect on that mission card. So, not doing the greatest already. That's the first couple of turns from Star Trek, the original series, deck building game, my solo variant. And it's, yeah, not looking the greatest because we couldn't complete either of the 2 missions in our first 2 turns. But of course, we have a lot of basic cards right now, so that's not helping us. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time when I will probably do, it looks like I'm going to get about 2 turns an episode here. And the game will probably last around, oh, I don't know, 12 to 18 turns. So, there you have it. All right, thanks so much for watching. Join me next time for the continuing voyages of Star Trek, the original series deck building game, where I try and get 300 points before the game does. All right, thanks for watching. Join me next time.